Kiss on All Four Cheeks grabbing her. Lady of Honour just in front. Kiss on All Four Cheeks has got her, then Yearning, and Kiss on All Four Cheeks has won it from...
Welcome back to my channel, everybody, for Group 1 racing for the Sir Rupert Clarke over the 1400 metres at Caulfield. Very keen on this card. There's quite a few stakes races. Obviously, the featuring the Memsey of the Sir Rupert Clarke and the Caulfield and 1,000 Guineas Prelude at Group 2 and at Group 3 level, respectively. One of them looks a one-horse race and the other one looks a pretty difficult race, but let's get into the preview so we can find the winners, and I'm very keen on a couple of this card. Race number 1 at Caulfield is a benchmark 78 handicap over the 2,000 metres, and I'm with the Waller runner here in head of state. Now, I know what you're going to say. Why are you tipping this? He hasn't won or placed in a long time. Well, I think you can completely forgive him for his last 3 runs, all being on soft ground. I'm not convinced he likes soft ground, so back onto a dry deck. And the last time he was on the dry deck, it was a win, and it was a Group 3 win, coming at Rosehill in the Gloaming Stakes, and he was ridden by James McDonald. And then after that, he went to the Group 1 Spring Champion Stakes on good ground and ran last. So, and that was an end of the prep run. So, back on top of the ground, 750 is an absolute spool. Senior on in Craig Williams in a very, very thin race. I'm happy to take the price. Unique Artist is very good over the 2,000 metres, but you've got to be questioning where it's at in its career, because it won a benchmark 70 on the synthetic last start over the 2,200 metres, comes back into the 2,000 metres, gets Dan Moore on, but does rise significantly in grade to a 78. Research over the odds at $15. I think he's going to run really, really well here. And Corbulo, the import at $21 for 4th, but I'm with head of state in the benchmark 78 over the 2,000 to start the day at Caulfield. Race number 2 at Caulfield is a Super Vobers 3-year-old played over the 1,000 metres. They're going to burn rubber here. And I like Cannonball here. I found it very hard to split him in an extravagant start, but let's talk about Cannonball first for Mark Zara. 6 starts for the 2 wins. I think anything past the Redoute Stakes you can completely forgive, because it was 4th in the vein, good run on resuming, went to Sydney in the San Domenico, probably didn't enjoy the soft ground at Group 3 level, comes back to this race here, and this is a Super Vobers, so comes back a mile in grade. Mark Zara aboard, and you got to remember this horse is a listed winner, and that came after his maiden win, beating Squad by nearly 2 lengths. That's pretty good form for this. I think he, at the price of $8, I'm happy to have him on top, and I'm happy to back him. The only danger, in my opinion, is Extravagant Star for Ollie. Is a winner of the Millennium in Sydney and his maiden, and then ran in the Group 2 Sweet Embrace, and it's first up here. So, interesting to see how he goes. Port Albert for 3rd, placed at its first 2 starts, and Sweetened, the debutante for the Hayes camp, for 4th. But I like Cannonball and Extravagant Star race 2, 15 the win on both. I'm hoping Cannonball can prove the stronger, but have to have something on Extravagant Star. Race number 3 at Caulfield is a mare's benchmark 90 over the 1,400 metres, and I'm with Zuzarella. Was scratched from Sandown today to be saved for this from a much easier race. Comes to a benchmark 90. Brett Preble on for the Freedmans, carrying 55 and drawn 11. Can't get in trouble from there. 2 starts at the distance for a second. 5 starts on top of the ground for a win and a second. So it's very good second up. Oh, sorry, very good at the distance and on the good ground. And second up's got 2 starts for a win. So I think this horse can be right in the finish. And I think that $9 currently, the odds, is over the odds. Coming out of a Group 3 race. So back to benchmark 90, up to the 1,400 metres. Drops 2 kilos from last start. Drawn better in barrier 11 from having last start barrier 2. Not going to get locked up or have any danger of being trapped on the fence from there. And I think you can forgive its last couple of runs, all being in Group 1 level. I don't think that this horse is a Group 1 horse. Has proved it's competitive around listed level, winning the Atlantic Jewel of last year and running second in the Jim Maloney at Sandown. So the 1400 metres will suit her, and I think it's going to run a really big race here. And I like that the stable have saved her for this. The second horse I've got here is Jump the Broom for the Hawks team for McNeil. Carrying 55 kilos. Second up, 2 starts for a win. Good ground, 2 starts for the win. But I wanted to probably just see a little bit more first up, and did fade quite badly in the Cochrane, finishing 12 of 13. But McNeil back aboard. Better barrier and barrier 9. Up to the 1400 metres, I'm expecting big improvement. Catalan, very good winning chance, just wouldn't take the price. And a Delamore, never resumed over the 1400 metres before, and does carry 52 kilos for Alana Kelly after the clam, so very good chance. But I'm with Zuzarella at odds in race 3 at Caulfield, 25 to win. Race number 4 at Caulfield is the Group 3 Caulfield Guineas Prelude, leading up to the big race later on in the spring over the 1400 metres, and I'm with the favourite here in Orft Cabin. I think it's going to be very, very hard to beat. Jamie Carr booked for the ride for James Cummings, drawn beautifully in barrier 6. Not going to get trapped like it did last start, and not going to be unlucky like it did last start. 56 kilos, beautiful. Market already likes it at 240, so I'm very, very keen on this horse, and I think it can score the Group 3 win, and was unlucky last start not to have won. We all saw that. Osipenko I've got for second, the Chris Waller runner for Damien Lane. Was beaten by Kaboo, and then that horse went and won again impressively, but is now out for the spring, so we won't see him again. You always respect Chris Waller when he travels his horses and does get the ear moss pre-race for the first time to calm him down. Japanese Emperor was a very impressive winner on debut at Sandown and comes off that race winning well, and does have Jamie Mott in the saddle, the same jockey that rode it on debut. And Zambogini at $17. I haven't got it marked as a value horse, but I think it is. I think it is value because he's had 3 starts for the two wins. Malamon, 56. I can see him running well here, but it all points to Orft Cabin in the Group 3 Caulfield Guineas Prelude. 45 the win. Come on, Jamie Carr. Race number 5 at Caulfield is 1,000 Guineas Prelude over the 1400 metres at Group 2 level for the girls here, and it's probably a plan to have this horse here, and she's lickety split for Andrew Forsman and Damien Lane. 4 starts for the 3 wins, and it's got a Group 1 and a Group 3 win in that tally as well. So I think it's going to be very, very hard to beat on Saturday. Damien Lane rides barrier 8, perfect. Opened shorter at a shorter quota 480, and is actually the favourite in this race, and I think it should be a lot shorter, and I think she should just simply be winning here because it's a very, very good horse and a very smart horse as well. Got Russian Conquest for second. It's going to be interesting to where the stable run it, because it's accepted for this race and in Sydney, so I'm really hoping that they bring the horse south, because if they run it here, it won't start at the current odds it is now at $21. It's already been backed into 19. Jamie Carroll with 56 kilos. Needs dry ground. Hasn't seen dry ground since his Millions run, where he ran second to Coolangatta. And that horse does look very progressive. Revolutionary Miss I've got for third. Probably looking for the same thing in dry ground, and that's why it's coming south. And the stable have opted to put the winkers on? Yeah, blinkers. Sorry, I've to put the blinkers on, and John McNeil rides a good chance. And Presinia March, the other one that gets the blinkers in the race, after having an impressive maiden win and then running on soft ground at Flemington and at the Valley and running very good races on both occasions. Dan Moore is on this time with 56 kilos and does get the blinkers and is at $14. So I think it's a good chance of running a place. But all things being equal, she's lickety split, $60 the win in the Group 2000 Guineas Prelude. It's a 1-horse race for mine. Race number 6 at Caulfield is the Group 3 Naturalism Stakes over the 2,000 metres, and I'm with the unknown horse and a bit of a mystery horse here in Gold Trip, trying to play the straight bat option here. Overseas imports, only had 1 start in Australia in the Winter Challenge at a trip that was way too short for it over the 1,500 metres, but liked the way it got to the line, running third, and that was at listed level. Gets to the 2,000 metres, gets Mark Zara aboard, does have to carry the top weight here, but deserves to. And I think at $5, it's a great bet here. I've got Emissary for second. Was a very good winner of the Heatherly last start. That was only first up. McNeil sticks and stays low in the weights with 54 kilos, but does draw at the other end of the barrier spectrum. Drew 12 last start, draws 2 now, but up to the 2,000 metres can only improve this horse. Uncle Brent I thought was too short at 420. I wouldn't take anything under $6 for this horse because, yes, his win at Sale was impressive, but he's failed in 2 starts since. Once being favourite, and then the first start run in the PB Lawrence where he would have needed the run, but last start ran second as being the 250 favourite, but Military Expert was off and gone. Up to the 2,000 metres, 54 kilo. Dan Moore on, good track. Oh, it's going to be a tough ask for the horse, and that's why I don't think I could take it for already. And Midnight Blue is actually the one I thought could run a really cracking race. He ran exceptionally well last start at the Valley, running second over the 2040. So stays at the 2,000 metres. Damien Thornton rides 54.5 kilos, drops 4 kilos from its last run, and Third Up's had 3 starts for a win in the third. At $18, I could put something small in it each way, but everything being equal, 35 to win. Gold Trips away. I'm playing the Group 3 Naturalism Stakes. Race number 7 at Caulfield is the feature of the day, the Group 1 Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes over the 1,400 metres, and I'm pretty keen to back 2 here. Couldn't settle on 1, so I'm going to back the 2 here in Showmanship and Ayrton. I'll start with Showmanship. Drawn barrier 10 for Ollie, so if he can just settle probably midfield, find a bit of cover, bring the horse out late, produce it, and run over the top of them, because this horse has got a devastating turn of foot. 8 from 10 with a third. Came back from injury, had the one start of the Wangoo, ran third, needed the run, track wasn't suitable, then came out in the Group 3 show county quality and bolted in under James McDonald as the 330 favourite. 750, I think, in my opinion, is an absolute spoil here. 4 from 4 at the distance, 5 for 5 on good track, 1 for 1 at Caulfield. So, knowing all that, second up, 2 starts for the win. Very keen, 56 with Ollie on. Well, 56.5 with Ollie on is a very good chance. And Ayrton's the other one that I found it hard to split him and Showmanship. And Ayrton's 4 from 4 at the track, 4 from 4 first up, 6 from 9 on top of the ground, and 3 from 6 at the distance. And he's a very good chance here, provided that no rain comes. He's a dead set dry track of this horse. Barrier 4 is going to land in a lovely position for Damien Lane, and is another good chance in the race. Now, the interesting runner here is Tuvalu for Jared Fry and Lindsay Smith. Gets in very light here and is a star, but I mean, I think it'll win a Group 1 this spring, but is it going to be the Rupert Clarke? I'm not too sure. The barriers did its chances, but he's very good first up, winning on 3 occasions from 4 starts, and on good ground he's 4 from 6, and at the distance is 3 from 4, so very good chance in Tuvalu. And Dragon Leap proved he was right up to the class of the Australian Group 1 in running 4th in the Memsey last start. And Mickey D sticks here, so very good chance. But all things being equal, I think it's going to be Showmanship or Ayrton crossing the line first. And I had to cover myself by putting money on both of them. So 20 each way on Showmanship and 10 each way on Ayrton. Found it very hard to split them both, but I'd be slightly leaning towards Showmanship. Race number 8 at Caulfield is the Group 3 How Now Stakes over the 1,200 metres. I'm going to make this quick because it's a one-horse race. J Car, Peter Moody, Chain of Lightning, 5 from 5. It's going to be 6 from 6. I can't see any horse here beating it. 290, take it. It will shorten, and I'm very, very keen on its chances here. It'll simply just win. It's got the residual fitness. It beat a very good horse last start and passive aggressive. In the Cochrane, and also beat Kiss on All Four Cheeks, who last weekend came out and won a stakes race at Flemington, so that's very good form for this. 1,200, no problem. 57, only goes up a kilo. Draws the same gate as it did last start in the Group 3 Cochrane. The only difference is the change of the name of the race and the How Now Stakes at Group 3, so I don't think it's going to worry this horse. I think it'll be simply winning. Isotope, I think, can definitely run top 3 here. Ran on well, I thought, last start in the Cochrane without ever threatening the top 3 in the race, but I think there's a very good chance of finishing top 3 here. Zapateo was good last start, winning the Toy Show Quality in Sydney. And Jenny is first up and probably is over the odds at $14 because it does have a good finish on her. But I'm with Chain of Lightning in the Group 3 Hanau Stakes, 35 the win for Jamie Carr to get another winner on this horse, and for this horse to go one better. Race number 9 at Caulfield is a handicap over 1,100 metres, and it's painfully so that I say that I got him in the boat for second. I just think he's going to be better off down the track because they're aiming him at the Group 1 features at Ascot later in the spring. So with that in mind, he didn't really run on as... Well, he did flop first up, but probably needed the run. But did lead them a merry dance on that occasion. Alana Kelly's in the saddle here, replacing Blake McDougall. Does get the weight down to 57 kilos, so very good chance for in the boat, and is very good over the sprint trips because he's going to get his own way in front. But I still think he's going to be beaten here by It's Our Time. Now, this horse, he's not a prolific winner. I understand that. But even you have to admit he's very good setup here. 3 starts first up for the 2 wins in a second. 5 starts at the track for 2 wins and 2/3. Unlucky on a couple of occasions on a couple of his runs at Caulfield. 2 from 5 at the distance with a second and a third. Good record on top of the ground. $6 for McNeil, carrying 54 kilos. McNeil knows the horse after riding him before he spell at Flemington, and he does get the tongue tie off for the first time. So going to be interesting to see how he goes, and draws a beautiful barrier and barrier 6. Curran for third. He really hit the line hard with purpose last start, but he's a back marker and always needs luck. But Cartwright takes the weight off. Drawn well, but won't be able to use a barrier because, like I said, is a back marker. But if he can settle closer in the run, he can win this, and he can really run on hard. And at the current odds of 850 is probably worth an each way spec. An Amish boy for Jamie Carr comes back gelded for the Mar Eustace camp. But I'm with It's Our Time, 25 the win and 10 the win the saver on in the boat because he's one of my favourite horses in the last at Caulfield. Thank you all so much for watching my preview for Sir Rupert Clarke race day. Can't wait for the Group 1 feature. Tipped in 2 Group 1s of the spring so far. Obviously, the Memsey and the Maccabi. Unlucky in the Memsey, and the same horse came out and was only beaten in nose last weekend in the Maccabi Diva. So, pretty keen I can bounce back here and tip the Group 1 winner in the feature. Finally here for my 3rd attempt at tipping a Group 1 winner this spring. But again, thank you for watching the preview, and I hope you find some winners yourself, and I hope that you back some winners, and I'll see you for my preview of the Flemington Derby and Oaks trial meeting on Sunday.